The importance of this course cannot be overemphasized. Such a study is not initiated a day too soon. Voices, sometimes even from responsible quarters, are heard that parliamentary democracy as it is functioning in our country is not suited to our conditions. Some suggest a military form of government, some others talk of the presidential system. Such talk, in my humble opinion, is harmful. My reasons to say so will follow. In recent times, parliamentary democracy was adopted by a number of countries after they attained independence, but radical changes overtook most of them very fast. Now, India is the only country which enjoys the distinction of being the largest among the genuine democracies in the world, having steadfastly adhered to the system originally adopted. In some of those countries, elections are held without giving the electors any alternative. In some, an assembly meets, speeches by party leaders are heard, but no dissentient voice is raised. These are illusions of a democracy. When our Constituent Assembly selected the present form of government, it was done after due deliberation extending over a long time. The parliamentary form of government was not decided on in a hurry. A careful and minute study of the constitution of the world was made, and the merits and demerits of every single form of government were duly considered. Have we given a fair trial to the solemn decision made about 20 years ago? Is the period of 20 years adequate for judging the issue whether the parliamentary form of government has or has not worked satisfactorily, and that some substitute therefore should be thought of? The real testing time has now arrived. In our federation, different political parties have come into office in different states. The federal machinery is functioning. Some parts of this machinery are being subjected to scrutiny and test during their operation. Conventions of the constitution are in the process of formation. The question put to the proponents of other forms of government, whether 20 years time is adequate for a fair trial of the present system, has brought forth a negative answer. It will be agreed that faith is essential for the success of any human endeavor. Such faith can be generated only by an intimate knowledge of the working of the present system. Without the knowledge, it is not possible to fully appreciate its implications, and usefulness. Once the working of the system is understood and appreciated, its usefulness will be brought home to the mind, and the conviction will then grow that the future of the country depends on the successful working of this delicate experiment. This experiment should not be allowed to be vitiated, and the present system must be worked with full faith and confidence. It must be remembered that it is not only a few persons more intimately and directly concerned whose faith and devotion is necessary, but all of inside the legislature and of many outside. We have an adult suffrage, and every adult in the country is entitled to take part in the democratic process and to come into the legislature. For this reason, it is essential that knowledge of the functions and the mode of working of our legislature is acquired by people more widely. Our parliamentary setup can gain authority only if it is based on our loyalty and confidence. Knowledge of the functions and procedures of the legislature helps in developing our faith in the system. The legislature is a great deliberative body. To adapt the language of an eminent constitutional writer, the legislature is the greatest inquiring machine and the greatest discussing machine which the world has ever known. In deliberations, its whole force is directed to the subject. Debate is the medium through which the legislature works. The legislature is a safety valve for popular emotions, and the opportunities that it offers are a happy substitute for undesirable conflicts. It ensures peaceful change, and it makes dictatorship impossible. It expresses the minds of the people with authority. Through it are placed the grievances of the citizens before the nation. By daily reports of its proceedings, it imparts political education to the general public. It subjects the actions of the government to continuous scrutiny and examination. Members of the legislature often press the government for action. Criticism or fear of criticism has a salutary effect in many respects, but the success of the legislature depends on its procedures. Procedure applicable to any particular body is the handmaid of justice. Without rules, debate will degenerate into confusion. Fairness will be sacrificed and time wasted. The rules of procedure adopted in India have been largely borrowed from the British practice. They are the result of centuries of experience. Many of them have got long antecedent history. The British Parliament has a history of about 700 years. The rules make real discussion possible. Discussion is the distinctive quality of the parliamentary government, and it is absolutely necessary that free debate is ensured. By its nature, the legislature is a body full of political activity. Sometimes debate is charged with emotion. All this makes knowledge of the functions and the procedures of the legislature most useful. The role of the speaker and chairman is of a very delicate character. The speaker has a dual capacity. He represents the house to the outsiders and inside the maintains order and regulates its procedure. Faith in his impartiality is the essence of the parliamentary proceeding. It is recorded history that once in England, House of Commons sat for 42 hours in one sitting. Such an abuse of the right of speech is not possible now. The Speaker and the Chairman will not permit abuse of rules. Rights of minorities can be safeguarded only by the care and guidance of the Speaker and the Chairman. I am very happy to inaugurate this parliamentary course.